Moving to Maine brought the promise of snowy adventures, but this winter's snow delivered one hit after another until something finally gave. Believe it or not, spring has arrived here in Maine, and I know you wouldn't guess with all this snow on the ground, but it's officially here. This winter has been really tough, full of challenges and setbacks. And one of the setbacks caused by the snow resulted in a disastrous situation that I didn't know if I'd be able to fix. I think I'm gonna have to abandon any hope of saving this. Maybe there's pieces and parts we can save, but I think this, unfortunately, this is pretty much toast. Oh, that sucks. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name's Mike, and I've been building this A-frame so my partner Nicole and I and our son can move out of our off-grid yurt that we've been living in for the past 8 years here in Maine. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow along with this build journey, and drop a like and a comment if you want to share your thoughts and whatnot. Whew, it has been, maybe 2 weeks that I haven't had to wear gloves. My hands are freezing. Gotta go get some gloves on. Found my gloves. Normally, I'm a snow lover, but this winter, the snow and cold have been the main cause of all our build-related setbacks and delays. Everything from keeping my hands warm enough to hold on to a tool, to clearing snow off the A-frame. All of it took extra time and energy. But by far the most destructive impact the snow had on this build happened about 2 months ago, and it all started with needing to collect some more firewood at the yurt. We've got a bit of a wood problem. That is, we don't have enough wood left. Well, we have wood, it's just not here. It's over at the A-frame. So I gotta go get it. All our extra firewood is stored here on the land. We call it the land because before we started building the A-frame last July, all it was land that we were constantly clearing to make room for the A-frame. And because we cleared so many trees, we have a lot of extra firewood that we store here, only taking it to the yurt when we need it. Back in February, it was a day where we definitely needed it. Little did I know, the purpose of the trip would quickly change from firewood collection to disaster response. What's the disaster? Stay tuned. Oh, f***. And I see our garage has collapsed. Damn it. Oh. This is just what I was really worried about. Our pop-up garage shelter has totally collapsed. As I made my way up the driveway to get a closer look at the damage, I couldn't manage to complete a coherent thought. My mind was racing with questions. Was the shelter destroyed? Were tools and supplies stored within broken? How was I going to fix this? Because I have saws and we're storing stuff in there. Oh, fuck. Damn it, just like you see on... That's really bad. Really, really bad. Hopefully it didn't break in there. Oh man. As I surveyed the damage to the shelter from the outside, a bit of panic started to set in. But I knew I wouldn't know the full extent of the damage until I looked inside. If it was even safe enough to go into this collapsed structure. Yeah, we have some stuff in here that hopefully didn't break. Oh, just bent the shit out of it. But you know what? These windows are okay. That sucks a lot, but we gotta look on the bright side. The saws are okay, the windows are okay. Hopefully our door, there's nothing cracked there. Oh shit, it's possible that our kerosene heater maybe saved the day from everything really collapsing down. Gotta go into emergency planning mode. I gotta get stuff out of there, see if I can get any snow off. Oh, I knew it. I knew this thing wasn't gonna be strong enough.
I was running out of light. In a little over an hour, it would be dark, and I was stuck. Do I start hauling out tools and supplies in case the structure completely gives out? Do I try to fix it? Can it even be fixed? I wanted to believe it wasn't a total loss. Well, I was at a total loss for what to do next.
This shed is the only other thing we have to store stuff to keep things dry. So, all right, we're in crisis mode. Gotta get this shed open, and then I gotta take a minute and plan what to do.
I'm not sure if it was my life experiences, my EMT training, or probably some combination of both, but I knew I needed to pause and really assess the situation. I made sure to note positives wherever I could. It helped keep me moving forward and kept me from falling into a downward spiral. But it wasn't easy.
Okay, so I gotta make a plan because I don't have a ton of time till I have to head back home. Since I don't have a ton of room to move things into this little shed, I think what I'm gonna try to do is get as much of that snow off the roof as I can. I think we're gonna try to repair, reinforce, fix that. I don't know if it's even possible. Some of that metal is bent probably beyond repair. And then of course, once I talk to Nicole, she'll probably have a better plan or strategy for moving forward. But we got a lot of supplies in there. I'm just really glad none of the windows or things that we bought for our house got smashed. At least that I could see. I have to look at things more closely, but all right, we got to get to work. So clearing off this snow, getting some weight off the top of that is the goal. I got the snow off the other side pretty easily, but this side looks way worse. So we'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic that I'm gonna figure out a way to fix this. This though, it is like super duper heavy. I have to be very careful. I don't want to accidentally break any other part of the frame here. So this is a delicate operation. So far, this roof looks to be in good shape. The only rip I see is where it came down on top of the tall propane heater. But see, now that I'm taking the snow off, I'm worried that this is gonna flop around and I don't want it to rip. I just don't know what's the better option. Like, I took the snow off because I thought it would help relieve the weight on all the bent pieces. Now I'm wondering if maybe that was a bad idea because it was just holding, it wasn't blowing around at all because of the weight of all the snow that was on it. The wind appears like it's gonna be just as gusty tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have to abandon any hope of saving this. Maybe there's pieces and parts we can save, but I think this, unfortunately, this pop-up shelter garage is pretty much toast. Oh, that sucks. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll see if it's been ripped to shreds. The wind didn't end up ripping any of the shelter, even after sitting for about a week in its semi-collapsed state. When I saw we had a lot of rain in the forecast, I knew I had to make a choice. Either attempt to fix the shelter or get everything out of it, because a lot of water trapped on the roof would be a lot worse than snow. So attempting a fix seemed like the obvious first choice. Of course, the day I came to attempt that fix, I forgot all the batteries for my power tools. With no power tools, the first thing I had to do was figure out how I was going to brace these bent rafters. I attached these pieces of wood so that it was supported on either side of the bend, kind of like the way you would splint a broken bone. With the rafter as straight as I could get it, I then tightly lashed this piece of wood around the metal. I didn't film any of this on the day that I did it because multitasking is not my strong suit. This wasn't meant to be a permanent fix, and since I was worried about future snow loads possibly stressing these braces, I went around and added some pieces of scrap wood bracing right underneath where the bends were to give each joint a little extra support. And after all the temporary bracing was secured in place, I stepped out and was surprised to see that the once collapsed shelter looked almost good as new. Definitely doesn't look like it did before the collapse, but it's been holding up for the past almost 2 months, keeping everything inside dry and protected from the elements. Ta-da!
It might be a mess on the inside, but honestly, seeing it hold together has been a small win, and I'll take those wherever I can get them. Thanks for watching. If you stayed till the end, you should definitely subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss whatever's next in this build adventure.
Peace.